Yeah.
We are back to the warehouse for Ball in Play 2. Tyler Poof is here to play. Let's talk ball. Welcome to the Blitzball Boys, a podcast about ball sports and warehouse, but lately about ball in play. I am your co-host, Brendan Ruppel, along with my fellow host, Peter Del Rey.
Hey, Brendan. This game was about what I expected. I was very
Really?
happy. I was very, very happy about it. I knew that MacFlurry was going to have get acclimated to the new sport game. Justin Dill
Yeah.
being the only person who's played ball and play in the warehouse is kind of a huge thing to overcome.
Yeah.
All in all, I don't think they were that bad. I think that they really got, without getting too far into it, they really got a hang of running.
Right.
They
Because
didn't hit
they
into
hit so many ones, but yeah. Yeah.
right. Well, I mean, like I think it's more telling that they weren't shy to run
Sure.
aggressively
And they understood the
than
rules,
anything.
which is important.
Right.
And the
For
swings
the
might
most part.
still come eventually. Yeah.
For
I
the
agree.
most part.
Yeah.
I mean, the only time that they didn't remember the rules was the whole, shoveling it to the back wall. They didn't move fast enough.
Right.
But that's fine.
Yeah.
That'll come. It's a new
Little things.
rule. Only hitting into one wicket is not a bad thing at all.
Yeah. Not bad.
That's kind of huge. I mean, look at the last game. How many wickets did we see? Tons.
Endless. Endless.
And an endless amount of wickets we
It was
saw
only
in the
wickets
last-
being thrown.
There was 9 wickets thrown in the last game.
Yeah.
Or played as a play. There's only 1 in this game now. Does that say something about the defense for MacFlurry Power? Yeah, there probably should have been 2 wickets. Fair. Tyler Bobbleday.
Watch it.
Sorry. Tyler Bobbleday, a pop up that really should have been like back to back outs for
Right.
wickets. Otherwise, they did well. Justin Pennick is back, baby.
Back.
I'm huge on
vengeance.
Justin Pennick. That was my what to watch for last time, and that was what I watched for this time.
And my what to watch for was also Tyler Poof, and we both nailed it. We both nailed our what to watch for as we watched, we saw, they conquered.
We watched again.
I watched again. I watched this game 4 times
Whoa.
at half X.
Whoa.
I watched them extra slow.
Nice.
Yes.
That's huge. This game was fun. Yeah. This game was fun.
I'm gonna talk about it, I guess.
Yeah, you want to burn it?
Let's do it. It's Forgotten Rotten versus MacFlurry Power as we look to see if this sport is MacFlurry's Achilles heel. The purple people start off with the bats, and much like with IKEA furniture, they can't quite put it together. Rotten did not have this issue thanks to Tyler, who was doing his best Lou Dab impression at the stumps. The combination of K-Jack has started to find something in the second inning, but Justin Pennick loves gold. The Golden Bowler keeps the score within 10, making it easy for Dan to put this game on the shelf. Forgotten Rotten wins 67-63.
Just to highlight your bad luck with IKEA furniture.
Mm-hmm.
When we lived together, Brendan, this is famous.
Famous.
In our friendship. Famous story within our friendship. I don't believe it was IKEA. I think it was Walmart. But you bought an end table.
Oh, Target.
It was Target.
Yeah.
Please let everybody know how you put together the end table with your former girlfriend, current wife, Nicole.
Oh, this happens all the time. I think we read directions to a certain degree. We're like, oh, I think I sort of get. We like glance over it once maybe, and then we put it together like using our intuition. And I guess we don't have builder's intuition because it always ends up where we put the front on the back.
Yep.
And then we just commit to it. We're like, well, this is the way it's going to be now.
I guess this is how it is. So you look at this end table that they had. There was a gap in the back of the drawer where you could stick your hand into the back of the end table and like grab whatever you needed out of the drawer. It was a good time. But yeah. Gold. Who's K-Jack? What's that one? I didn't get that one. Was that you misspeaking or does that?
No, the K-Mac and Jack. The combination of K-Mac and Jack M is K-Jack.
Oh, Jack Mehoff.
Jack Mehoff.
That's his last
Jack
name, right?
Mehoff, yeah. And I had to look up Shelfie's name,
Dan.
which is Dan.
Yeah.
It's Dan.
I remember that from the interview he did on Morning Meeting.
Ah, because I wasn't listening.
You were not listening.
Ooh, now that I know his name is Dan, I could do some Dan Daniel stuff. Who doesn't love that?
Run it back.
Run it back.
Damn, Daniel. Michael Shelfie hits another home run.
That's good.
What? Who's Michael? It's adding to the lore. But let's get started onto this game.
Okay.
Right? Kyle MacDonald wins the toss. And then I was interested to see with what he wanted to do first. If he wanted to chase to like kind of see what hitting is like, or if he wanted to just go straight into it and like learn trial by fire, learn on the fly.
Yeah.
And he got 26 runs. You know, the team got 26 runs, which is nothing Baggage did worse, against a better team, but they still did they got less runs. And I want to just check something really, really quickly from Ball and Play 1. Mm-hmm. Some of these early game scores for the first overs, 35, 30.
Oh, yeah, it was like around here, and I feel like once we got towards the end of the regular season in Ball and Play 1, it started to really balloon these scores, and then it came back down for playoffs.
Right. So, I mean, the big thing here that I was like just trying to get at is 26 is maybe it's on the low end.
It's not ideal, but it's still like it's not. You don't feel defeated after putting up that number. You also didn't put pressure on another team. I think that's the big thing. But it's definitely not an awful score. I think if you get into the 30s, you could feel a little more comfortable. But I think seeing.
I mean, we saw that in the next inning. They scored 37 to end out the game.
Yeah.
The big thing here is that the foundations are being built for this team, and this is why we like the round-robin format before it turns into playoffs, because they have the opportunity to work out these kinks in these next two games. Does that mean they're going to face a hook line or a Del Caribe first in the playoffs? Maybe, but if you want to win the whole thing, you got to beat those teams anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I thought they started off well. Like we said, they didn't shy away from running. They got a couple of boundaries, and then most importantly, no wickets at all.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the only unfortunate thing is that you're up against a bunch of guys that have been here before, mainly being like Trevor is going to put up some runs for sure. But again, like you said, this is the round-robin section of the tournament, and what you want as MacFlurry Power, never being here before, is just to get your feet underneath you and get your swing down, because I had a feeling that K-Mac's swing would not fully translate to Ball and Play, and it doesn't yet. I think he needs to level that out a little bit more, because he seems like he's got a swing that's prone to pop-ups. He didn't get as many. We didn't see that many wickets in this game, which is surprising based on his sort of swing, but he needs to level that out for sure. Also, knowing Colin isn't really a big hitter, he did surprisingly well he has some good strikes, but he's never been like a big bat. So it was something we wanted to see, and I think they did all right for our expectations. And Rotten sort of met them.
I mean, K-Mac's big strength right now is his eye. I mean, he brings this over from Blitzball. He has a great eye where you're seeing who was it? There was somebody who hit, I think it was Jack, maybe later in the game, swung at a ball that was, or maybe it was Trevor. They swung whatever. They hit a 4 or a 6. They got a boundary off of a ball that was well above the zone. That would have been a wide. And, there's conflicting theories here where it's like, oh, who cares if he swung at a ball that would have been wide because he got a boundary off it? That's incredible.
Yeah.
And then but he could have gotten an opportunity to get, if it was a 4, 5 runs, or if it was a 6, 7 runs off of these plays. Who knows how the next one would be delivered, but regardless, K-Mac's ability to just hold off on balls that aren't going to hit the zone is good. You saw it decently early on when I believe the ball skimmed his arm and hit the zone. He's still learning the zone.
Yeah, he said that too, and he's like, I didn't realize how close I was to this thing, but if he was standing a little bit further off, he was seeing it right, like, oh, that would have been inside if he was standing in a certain spot. So
yeah. So the big thing that worked against K-Mac today was he kept tipping the ball into the frame, the strike zone, essentially.
Yeah.
That would earn him a dot. That was the big thing that was holding him back a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like he's trying to lift that ball. That's not what you want to do. He's getting under it and just that's what's
Yeah.
tipping it straight back.
The big thing is, I said that about everything so far today, but
They're all big things.
these are big things. I mean, it's
We're two
it's a
guys
learning
familiar
game.
with big things.
Two guys familiar with big things. I'm gonna make such a bad joke.
What else is there to it?
I'll tell you after the podcast.
Oh my God. Dirty boy.
The big thing here is that you saw maybe, MacFlurry didn't really get a hold of the ball to take it on a ride, but you're facing Shelfie, Pennick, and Trevor, who are pretty good bowlers for their own right.
They didn't
All
get
three
a
of them.
golden bowler in the first inning, but all three. That just shows you right there. If they don't get a golden bowler, sometimes they have three capable guys.
I mean, what? Each guy got 2 dot balls, I think, in the first inning. So it's like,
and their overall economy, they're all around
their
10.
economy's fantastic.
They're all around 10.
Unbelievable, their economy. It made it so hard to pick a player of the game.
Yeah.
But not really that hard. It just because I wanted to give it to somebody else. They did a very good job, especially especially Jack and Colin. Once Jack figured out how to hit boundaries, but that's late. K-Mac kind of did what I was expecting with the 5 dot balls against him, and then getting the most runs scored off of no balls. Kind of expected that entirely. I also expected him to have a little more balls that he drove for boundaries.
Sure.
But that'll come. That'll come.
It'll
I mean,
come.
we've talked about this. This bat's a weird shape.
Bat's a
It's
weird
hard to
shape.
barrel
The
it.
ball's squishy. He's not used to this yet. He has not come
figure
here
it
and
out.
practiced.
Right.
It's not something he's had time to do. So
Right.
him being here, this pool play is practice. So we'll see.
Ending the first with 26 is not the best in the world, but it's great to get it out in round robin before you start tournament play. Then we go to the bottom where we see Forgotten Rotten, for whatever reason, outperform Del Caribe from the last game.
Yeah.
By getting 53 in this one. We saw Trevor, what you said, what you were looking out for. Trevor really having
Looking
a Lou-like
strong.
performance.
Yeah.
Less runs, 46 off of hits as opposed to Lou's 55 for the whole game. But
So a bit
Trevor, all but 3 balls, Trevor was at
Wait, who are you talking
bat.
about?
Oh, Tyler.
Oh, okay, yeah. You just kept
Tyler
saying
Poof.
this other random name I didn't understand.
I just listen. I was making something up.
Just trying to.
A 6 to start set the tone.
Yeah.
For Tyler, and then a 6 to end the first over was really good.
Yeah, and I think that's what you want to see. Like I like even just looking at swings from players, seeing these swings by Tyler. Just like I want to see these balls be smashed against the back wall, like Lou and Mr. Poof. We weren't seeing aggressive, very confident line drive swings from MacFlurry at all.
Right. No, we weren't. But it's also hard to be confident when everybody's telling you, hey, don't swing for the fences, don't swing for the fences. You kind of have to find the sweet spot on
Absolutely.
your own. It was more for me that I think I expected Tyler to come into this tournament, not having, not being talked about as one of the best guys in the last tournament. That's usually what lights a fire under his ass.
Right. That's all he needs to
So
hear.
coming into this first over and scoring 20 on his own is insane. Then you get into the second over, and this is something that I want to watch for from MacFlurry going forward with Jack on the mound. 6'5" is crazy.
Yeah.
And, Tyler saying Doug Fister, Doug Fister, Doug Fister, when just because his release point is so high and the ball just comes down on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really interested to see if Jack sort of becomes the A bowler on this team. Nothing against Colin. We saw it. We did talk about this last time. We wanted to see if Colin was going to throw underhand. He did.
I
throw
was excited.
underhand.
It didn't work super well against
Not underhand, submarine.
Tyler, but
Sorry.
Yeah, but he still had the same arm slot.
It started to work towards the end. He started to figure it out towards the end, but it wasn't enough.
Jack's still the more effective bowler for sure, but I think Colin just needs to find more location with that. I think he has better pinpoint control with the blitz ball, which is crazy. This ball is just a little different, so he just needs to get used to it a little bit and understand he can't manipulate it as much. Where you throw it is where it's going to go
Yeah.
for the
It's
most
also
part.
probably difficult for him to take so much off of.
Also, yes, absolutely. Think about how hard he's able to throw the blitz ball while adding spin to it. Like he can put most of his oomph into those like sliding risers, but he has to just like almost toss this sponge ball.
I mean, he did fine. I'm not
Yeah,
going to say
yeah.
anything bad about
Passable.
Colin. Colin did a good job.
He's also up against
Um,
a big hitter too. It's not just that he didn't bowl that
yeah,
badly.
a guy who may be the best hitter in this tournament come the end of it.
I will say it constantly throughout the tournament. You can only do so much as a bowler.
You can only do so much as a bowler. We've talked about it last tournament like crazy. A bowler's job is to limit runs, not prevent them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really what it is. We saw an over that resulted in 0 runs scored once, and that was in Captain's League.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're probably not going to see it again until next Captain's League. Probably.
Yeah.
Jack did a great job, and then Justin came in, and Justin, I thought it was very funny when Justin came in, how they were like, Justin excels at limiting boundaries, and I said to myself, Justin's going to let up more boundaries than he does in this this fucking over, isn't he? And then he did 4 out of the 6 balls that he threw. It was 3 4s and a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Really, just a crazy over.
This is after
Throughout the
General
whole-
Panic tells Tyler Poof to get out on purpose, and he's like, I don't know how to do that. I'm just gonna hit sixes.
I mean,
I also
how
get
do
his
you?
I get his reasoning. If I know at first he's like, I'm not gonna fucking do that, and then he walked it back a little bit. Was like, I don't know, I'd try, but I couldn't do it. I understand, like, if you can get 10 runs on the board right now, I'll trade that for like sitting on the bench to start the next inning. One of your guys might end up wicketing out anyway. You might get up regardless. So I didn't mind the denial of the orders.
I feel like that would have been a good strategy for playoffs. But right now, I think when you're Pennick and when you're Shelfie, you want to get as much practice in as possible.
Also, I don't understand. Maybe you know this, but I don't understand really. What would stop the other team from just like letting the players run? Like, if they understand your strategy of trying to get one particular guy out, wow, you know what I mean? Like, I think we've seen a little bit where
we saw it in the
a little
last
unsure
play
about what
where
to do.
Jimmy tried to get run out. I believe it was Jimmy tried to get run out for strategy purposes, and he just held it. He held his line just before the safety zone, and the other team, I forget who the other team was, like refused to get him out.
Yeah.
And I believe Nate just called the play dead and was like, you only get 1 run on this. You don't get the 2.
Gotcha.
And this, inning is over.
Yeah, because I wonder if we'll see that in the playoffs when this becomes an important strategy. If the
Honestly,
defending team will just hold the ball, like, I'm not going to get you out.
I don't think it was for this particular game. I don't know if it was the best strategy just because you were already going into the second inning, double the other team's score.
Right. And I wonder, I mean, General Panic is maybe just trying to practice strategizing for when it does really matter in the future.
Right.
Maybe
but, like, also to your point, if they get a wicket in the second inning, like, Trevor would be up again anyways.
Yeah, it's not unlikely that one of your lesser batters is going to wicket out and then Tyler's right back up.
I just realized Tyler getting 46 in 1 over is crazy. What did Lou get in just 1 over? That's what I'm thinking of right now. Not a lot because he wicketed out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Lou had 55 total. 55 minus 10 minus 14. Yeah. Tyler scored more in 1 over in 1 inning than Lou did. So technically, if he had more time, he could have outperformed Lou.
Yeah.
Although he did, I believe he faced more balls by the.
Oh, okay.
2 balls. Lou faced 2 more balls than Tyler did.
Interesting.
in the game. But
So very similar performance.
Similar performance. Then we go into the top of the second with, Rotten leading 53-26. I feel bad about this one because I paused the video and saw how much time was left, and my first thought was, oh my God, they're not going to score enough.
I felt that too. I didn't pause it, but I saw the amount of time that the episode was going into it, and then knowing where we were in the game, I was like, I don't think. I told Nicole, I turned to her, I was like, I don't think they're going to get out of this inning. I think that's going to be it.
I think it wasn't until Jack hit a 6.
And they got close enough. I was like, okay, they're going to get just over 53, and it's going to be easy for them to win the game, which is kind of what happened.
Yeah. It was once Jack hit the 6 and I think tied it up at that point. That was the first time that I felt okay about it, because up until that third over, Jack did not understand. He did not get good contact on the ball. He kept only going for ones. You saw a lot of dribblers from MacFlurry Power.
Yep.
But again, not scared to run. Like, they could dribble the ball an inch in front of the wicket, and they say, "Fuck it, we're going."
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt when you have 6'5" strides.
Mm-hmm.
But first one, Shelfie starts off bowling, getting his reps in, hits it off the wall. Or, I'm sorry, Jack hits one off the side wall for 1. Colin gets a 4. Colin really seemed to understand the game and how to hit a lot quicker than most of the other guys on MacFlurry Power.
Yeah.
I think he was the boundary leader for the team, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, him and Justin. And Justin's a professional, even though Jack had the same amount. But
he at least understands he just needs to get barrel on the ball. You look at the I was raving about Lou's beautiful swing when they give you that side profile footage of him, and it's just like one of the most gorgeous, like, simple, pure swings you'll see. And then they did the same thing for Colin's boundaries swings, and it's just like, it looks like a little kid who doesn't move his feet when he swings, but like the effect was still there, because you really just, with a plastic bat and a smushy ball, it goes far just by making good contact. So you don't need to have like a lot of power behind it for it to just go. So Colin, not a hitter, knows what he needs to do in order to get a couple boundaries.
Yeah. He was helped a little by some bad defense from Justin Pennick, running in a little too much. But again, this is something that's, kinks will be worked out.
Yeah.
He'll figure that out. Then we have Calvin making the big play, who this ball was hit so hard off the side wall, came right back to Calvin, who just put a paw up and stopped it from going to the back wall.
It's important. Like, you start to learn the warehouse a little bit the more you play here, and you start to understand the bounces. It's like playing the corner outfield. You understand where the ball kicks out and how to play them. So you saw the first one. I think like there's one earlier in the game where it kind of bounced and it hit off his body like accidentally, but this one, like, he really fully read and like blocked it like a goalie.
Yep. Yeah, the other one, you're right, did bounce like straight off his chest.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Pennick coming back in, and this is where Pennick had a great inning. He got the dot ball. He got the celebration. We love Pennick celebrated the fucking point. I love the point.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It's so cool. It is such a cool celebration. I don't know if anybody else in the warehouse can do it as cool as Justin Pennick does.
Yeah.
He's a fucking rock. And then it's just 1-1-1-1, and then ending. Colin ends it with a 4 to end it. But that's 8 runs in one inning from Pennick.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, you know what? Fuck it. Let's stay in. Let's
Single
take the golden.
Is beautiful.
Single digits is so good. And it's what we were talking about last time. I wanted Pennick to go back in form, and he is back in form now.
Yeah.
He went from averaging during captain's 26 runs per over to having, what is it now, 10.83 or something? 10.67 runs per over.
Yeah.
Runs per over. Fantastic. He comes back in for the end, and then this is gets touched up a little bit because Jack figured out how to hit. Gets a 6, gets a 4, gets a 1 that really should have been a 4 because Calvin makes another boundary-saving play.
Mm-hmm.
Gets Colin up Colin gets the first wicket of the game with their third to last ball. Justin comes back in. Should have been the second wicket of the game, but Trev dropped it. They get one, and then Jack slams a four to end it because Jack has fully figured out striking. And the next game, I can't wait to see how he adds on that because I think he could put up Trevor and Lou style numbers now.
This is after the interview with Kelsey, right? The in between innings, and they're like, we're sort of getting it. I'm not quite there yet, but I think just some more swings and we'll start to find it. And then boom, boom, boom.
Right.
There he goes.
So they go into the final half inning, up 10. We've all seen enough ball in play to know outside of the fucking championship from last year, this game's over.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's important what they just did in that top of the second inning. Even though they didn't have an overall, they scored a good amount of runs against Forgotten Rotten, but they did a lot of work in the first inning, and they knew what their score was, and they were able to pitch to their score at the moment. It's kind of like pitching a baseball with a lead. You just need to get outs. Yeah. Even if you give up a couple of runs here and there, you just get the outs.
You even saw Pennick. I think Pennick has a full understanding that he is not a boundaries guy when it comes to striking.
Yeah.
He starts up on strike, tips it pretty soft to the side to get one run. You could see that he's really playing safety first, ball in play, where, why would I risk popping the ball up and getting a wicket when we only need 10 runs on 18 balls?
Right.
And saying they're going to throw a wide. They're new to the game. They're definitely going to throw a wide.
Yeah.
Shelfie gets up, gets dotted on the first ball, tipped off the bat on the next one, rolls back. Justin Dill can't get there in time. That's a 4. Then he hits a proper boundary ball, line drive straight to the back this wasn't a drive. He hit one straight to the back. Then Jack is hoofing it over there with his huge fucking body. Dives to make a stop, can't make the stop. They're down by 1. And then, unfortunately, Colin throws a wide to tie it. And that was the death sentence because Shelfie then taps one up the side, gets a 4, walk-off victory for Forgotten Rotten. I don't think Colin did poorly in this final inning. One of those 4s was complete luck.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I didn't even think that it tipped. I had to rewatch it a bunch of times. But, I mean, Forgotten Rotten was always winning this game. It's a matter of experience. It's not even because the other team was bad. I don't think MacFlurry's bad. I think they have a lot of solid potential.
Yeah. I think MacFlurry would have had to have come into that first inning and put up a huge number and, scared Forgotten Rotten. But the fact that they kept them where they wanted in the beginning, I think, set the tone. Oh, we're fine. We're going to do what we're going to do. And these guys are new to this sport, so let's just do our jobs.
Not even a huge number, I don't think. I think even if they put up a 35, it would have made it a little more
okay, these guys are here to play. Yeah.
Okay, so they're not as inexperienced as we thought.
Yeah.
We saw plenty of games in that first tournament that finished in the 60s.
Yeah.
To the point where we were like, are they going to score much higher? And then turns out, they scored a lot fucking high.
Yeah.
I think MacFlurry Power has a lot of potential. If they can figure it out now, there's not a lot of games for them to figure it out. But if they can figure it out by the end of this, I think we could see them making a run. Right now, after what we saw with Del Caribe, I don't know how anybody can stop them because their team is all powerhouses on both sides of the ball. Hook line we're going to see in the next game. That's going to be very interesting to see.
Yeah.
Love Yous, I think, are going to be pretty good, and that's just based off the fact that
we just have to hope that Nicky learns how to run a little bit and understands the rules a little bit this time.
Yeah, and Dalton keeps his defense up from the first game. We also have the Woogas, where Luke is coming off of an amazing tournament where you and I both voted him as best batter for our awards show for the Captain's League. Luke is always a danger, but I think if they just need one guy to figure out striking, and I think it's going to be Jack, based on what we saw in this game.
Looks like it.
I think it's going to be Jack. K-Mac just needs to do a little bit better. If
Mhm.
K-Mac can average like 15 to 20 runs per game,
Yeah, I
then
think on
I
the
think
mound
he'll do
too.
well.
He needs to like be weirder on the mound. He needs to be himself when he's bowling. Just be a little kooky and be a little
We haven't
stranger.
we haven't seen him on the mound.
I think we have. I thought he did a little bit.
Colin, Jack, and Justin.
Colin, Jack, and Justin. So when he does play, this is a note for you when you do
For
play.
me.
For you.
For me.
Something to look out for. We're doing this early. What's to look for? There you
What
go.
to
There's a note. What to look for?
Look for K-Mac being a weird motherfucker.
Here we go.
Noted.
Oh, also, we talked about this last episode. We didn't know what to call these. What are the tip backs to get the fours behind you?
Doubles.
Shovels. Whatever they are called. I asked what it would be called to do it the other way, and Melinda said, "Oh, he just did a reverse. What's it called?" And I was like, "Oh, just call it reverse. That makes sense."
Melinda,
Simple as
again,
that.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I love Melinda. She's coming into her own, and she's only going to get better. I really, really love Melinda. She's adding so much to this tournament. Now that we're getting the cameras on her for when sixes and fours happen, and she's like,
Oh,
"Oh my god!"
yeah, a lot of
it's
good faces.
cracking me up.
It's so funny. It seems like
so
she had
funny.
no idea what she was getting herself into, and she's loving it. Like she's so excited and having so much fun.
The best part about this, I think it was in the last game that she said it, where Chris Rose was like, "Have you ever seen anybody better?" And she's like, "I've never fucking seen this before." So she did no
I don't know
reason.
what this is.
She just accepted it. She was like,
I know there's
some
cricket people
cricketers.
involved. So yeah, I'll
Yep.
come on down.
I accept it, and then now she loves it. And even Toby and Jack were saying they love it too. Everybody loves it because it's the best. But Brendy, you got anything else to say about this game before we get into it?
He drinks still tea. Is a drink made by me.
No.
Oh.
No.
You can use Coffee Boys for $2 off.
Like general.
No, I mostly just wanted to
things to
give you the reverse. I wish I knew what the fuck that was called. Why don't we not know what the backwards
Don't
flick
pay
is called?
attention. We
Yeah, I
don't pay
guess.
attention. I'm sure BBD will tell us. He's already texted us about the first episode, so I'm sure he will text us in the second.
Yeah.
All right.
Ding.
Ding ding. It's called
Oh.
a shovel.
It's nudes. BBD. Also, did he say hi, mom, in this episode? He mouthed something.
Oh, I was
zoom in.
probably typing.
Let us know.
Let
Was
us
it hi,
know.
mom, or hi, Brendan and Peter?
Yeah,
One-
or
one
was
of
it
the two.
hi Bob?
Oh, it could have been hi, Bob. Bob, Brendan, and Peter.
Player of the game.
Blur the game.
I wanted to give this to Justin Pennick so badly. Just
The energy's
just
there.
because the energy's there. He's being the strategic captain. He's really like running with this role, and I really, really like it a lot. His bowling is back to what we love about him.
Yeah.
Incredible job bowling. 31 runs off of 14 hits is an insane total. Absolutely insane. You're bowling 3 overs and allowing 4 fours and 1 6, and that was it. Is crazy. Great for you, Justin, but you can't ignore what Trevor did. 46 runs off of hits, 1 run scored off of a no balls, 4 sixes, 5 fours. Not to mention on the bowling side, 10 runs allowed in 1 over. It is so insane what Trevor did during this game that we say Lou-like because Lou is the reigning MVP. We may have to change that to Tyler Poof-like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of how well he's going to do it.
They said in this game too that he's always been, or always, like the one time we played this. Always. He's been an average bowler, or maybe even less than average. And sure, it's only 1 over. But in addition to what he did with the bat, having a competent bowler, let alone, he's even in this over, he was better. He allowed 10 runs in an over. That's exactly what you want. If that could be like your average, that's incredible. And I wonder if they're going to go to him more frequently. If he bowls one of the first overs of the game and he has the opportunity for a golden, to let him ride it out. Because at this point, I think that he seems like their third option. but maybe he'll climb the ranks a little bit more and like maybe surpass who would he pass? Calvin? Shelf. Yeah.
For what?
For like
bowling?
second bowler, yeah.
Shelfie.
What am I looking at? Shelfie, yeah. I don't know. Either way, having that option of having like a really solid third dude is really great, and he's one of the best hitters in the game.
Yeah. Incredible job. MVP, look out. Tyler Poof.
Look out. We said this about Lou last time, too, that Lou was so good last tournament because he was middle of the pack or top 10 bowlers.
Right.
So if you can be the absolute best hitter and a pretty good bowler, that's just an unbeatable combo.
Yep. But another unbeatable combo is the play of the game.
Play the game. Play the game. We talked about this off air as a little bit of a tough one to figure out, but we landed on a fantastic play.
Wow.
Let's play the game.
Pat yourself on the back.
Goes to Shelfie for the walk-off hit.
Daniel Michael Shelfie.
Damn Daniel with that nice walk-off hit.
Whoa! Is it burning time? What's going on?
But great job for coming out. I was surprised he didn't get like a standing ovation because he left last tournament with the torn Achilles. Huh? You did? You got up off your couch?
Yeah, I got up at work. I stood up and I was like, you fucking did it.
Yeah, I stood up and gave him one, but
they fired me.
Felt a little something in my
They said, go home. We don't want you here anymore.
Good. My sister actually just got fired from her job today.
Whoa. Is that real?
That's real. She has another one, but
okay.
That's true. It's true.
That's crazy.
Yeah. A lot of fun
there
stuff
you go.
this week. But yeah, that has nothing to do with the award.
Look her up if you're an employer.
Shelfie, good for you for having this. You're the comeback player of the year in my book already. Way to go.
I mean, who else could it be? Jimmy with his eyes?
Yeah.
Joe's with his eyes?
Joe's with his eye.
Come back from this tournament?
Come back from this tournament.
Wow.
Impressive.
We got to do it.
Got to do it.
Yep. Shelfie getting his walk-off hit is just a great story.
Yeah.
Play the game because it's a great story.
The story.
The guy gave his body, his heart, his mind, his soul to the game last time around. His team just cast him off to the side. His old team just cast him. They said, fuck out of here with your
He did, didn't they? He was on Pinstripe Strong, and they just got rid of the entire franchise.
They said, we can't have this anymore.
Yeah.
Not with his association.
Honestly, that's kind of nice, though. The franchise did die with his ankle.
With the mismatched jerseys. Did you notice that?
Oh, wow. No.
Tyler and Pennick were wearing yellow with navy blue sleeves. Calvin and Shelfie, yellow with black sleeves.
Interesting. I don't think I did notice that.
So he came over to Forgotten Rotten.
Difference.
Tyler Poof opened his arms and said, Dan Michael Shelfie, come to me. Let me kiss you on the forehead. Let me take you under my wing. Let me show you how to be great again. And Dan Michael Shelfie said,
yes, sir.
I accept Mr. Poof. And he said, my last name is Ploof. And he said, I don't know. The Blitzball boys told me.
The Blitzball boys. They say Tyler.
They told me something else. It's definitely Tyler Poof. And he said, all right. And then Dan Michael Shelfie goes at it. 4 balls seen, 3 boundaries hit. Game, set, match.
Good evening. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Daniel Michael Shelfie.
I was just kissed on the forehead by Tyler Poof.
Tyler Poof kissed me on my forehead, and I said, time to put this to rest. Lots of kisses on the forehead today, Brent.
Yeah.
BBD, Memorial Defensive Player of the Game.
Let me just hit the button real quick.
Wow. It's still going.
That's the button. That's the same every time. Oh, yeah.
Thank you. You really love this bit where it's let me press this button and then you just say something.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're right. You're right. Not a bit. Real life. Married again. Do you want? I gave it last time. Do you want to say it? We already agreed on it together.
This goes to Calvin
And Hobbs.
and Hobbs. Calvin saw all the Hobbs coming off the sidewall and was knocking them all down. Way to go, Calvin. Really incredible work by you. Sometimes it's difficult to defend those balls. Some people have a hard time with it. You're not one of those guys. You see them,
Yeah.
you knock them down, you keep the ones as ones and don't let them run anymore or go become a 4. It's really important because 1 to 4, 3-run swing. It's a big deal. If it happens over and over again, that's more than 3 runs. You don't want that.
This is kind of becoming the pro award, huh? First Aaron, now Calvin. But it's true. He had these insane to take these ricocheting balls, stop them from being more than what they were, essentially saving at this point, what was it, 9 runs? Blocked 4
Well, this would be a fun
or
stat.
3 4s.
You could do some run saves with these
We
guys.
could, but I'm not going back and watching it. So, DRS, Calvin, leading the league right now.
That's safe to
Absolutely
say.
fantastic. Safe to say, safe to say, safe to say.
Yeah, we've seen some players be like this. We have like Dalton has always been good at this.
Everyone on hook line.
Yeah. Drew Davis types.
Everyone on hook line.
People that are just willing to put their bodies in the line.
Yeah.
But
So, Jake. We'll see it. We'll see it. Luke, probably. My guess is Jimmy Norp doesn't give a fuck if he like lands on his head on the concrete.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen that a lot because we haven't seen this game. We didn't see a lot of wickets. I'm expecting like a huge like diving wicket play from Calvin at some point. I'd love that. I'd love it.
I'd love it.
I'd love it.
I'd love it. I'd love it full. Love it or leave it. Love it or list it. But that's it for this game.
That's it for this
now.
game.
We're not doing previews, right? We're doing what to watch fors. That's what we
for.
decided last episode. Hook line
W2W.
versus Woogas.
F.
WWJD, what to watch for?
This is sponsored by.
What would Drew Davis?
Do?
No,
what would Drew Davis?
That's how he spells his name with a J, by the way. Hook line versus the
JREW?
Woogas. I started it off last time, Brendy, so let's give you the first what you are watching for in this next game.
This is interesting here. Well, we know hook line. Woogas is completely up in the air. You mentioned it a little bit earlier that Luke is a new Wooga here, and that is a huge get for those guys.
Huge get.
That kind of goes without saying. I think just
Only
most
one
excited
with,
to
ball and play experience.
Yeah. I'm most excited to see Jimmy Norp though because he's a big
Dan
question
Rourke,
mark.
I guess. Captain's League.
But Jimmy Norp is an all-around athlete and can do anything. But I'm just excited to see how he hits in this one because we know he's a good hitter in wiffle ball and blitz ball. It should translate pretty well. I think it translates usually better than it does for cricketers. So I'm excited to see more of his personality, and it'll only be more fun if he's demolishing. So I want to see Jimmy Norp have another Lou-type game. I want to have one on each team, one masher. And I think Jimmy Norp could be their masher.
Historically, who is the masher on hook line? Wasn't it like they were so good because they spread it out really well?
Yeah, they might
Wasn't that
have
the whole thing?
Yeah, because I feel like we know the 4 of them really well because they all kind of played.
Let's see. That's for strikers is what I want.
Because these first 2 games we've seen so far, the bench players didn't get a lot of swings.
Runs scored off of hits for them. Drew had the most, but Drew also faced the most balls. Or like roughly, they were all within. Jolly had the most runs scored for balls.
Jolly's got a lot of boundaries probably because he's got the nice home run swing.
Yes, he had the most runs scored per balls faced average. Jolly's sneaky good.
Yeah,
sneaky good at
he's always been a hitter.
Striking.
That's why
always
he doesn't
been
play
a hitter.
blitzball battles because he can't pitch, but he can smash.
Right. So Jolly's going to be big there. I think what I'm going to say what to watch for is a quick game, I think. I think if this hook line team is similar to what they were last year, and I don't want to put too much pressure on the guys who've already played the whole tournament, but if this hook line team is similar to what they were last tournament in terms of defense, I think we can get potentially Wooga's not doing 2 full innings and getting wicketed out twice.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
I do think that could happen. Everybody knows it. We talked about it already on this episode. Hookline is a defensive team. They won their championship on defense. They played the whole entire tournament with great defense played. You got Jolly, Drew, and Jay all have unbelievable hands when it comes to fielding. BBD on the mound is one of the best bowlers in the entire tournament.
That's what you should watch for too, is a BBD roar.
You should watch for a BBD roar. He will get one. That's not even a let's see if he does. We know that he will because he is phenomenal on the while bowling.
I'm also excited to see maybe a Dan Rourke getting out by wicket and freaking the fuck out. Yeah.
Tipping it into the hole, the magic hole.
Yeah. I can see him fully like swinging at the strike zone stump and like knocking it over at a finger.
Yes. But yeah, my what to watch for is Hookline's defense, because I really do think they're going to get all 6 wickets.
That'd be fun.
And they're going
to a nice defensive game. That'd be great.
I don't know if it's going to be a double defensive game, but I do think that Hookline is going to. They're going to do really good. Drew really reads the ball flight in the warehouse very well.
Yes.
Jolly had the great play to end the tournament last time.
Never forget.
You know, what I want to know from Hookline, their defense primarily is in the field behind the bowler. And I want to see how well their wicket keeper is going to do now that there's the added 4s behind. Because I can totally see something like Sanjay or Jimmy Norp, once he learns about it, just shoveling it to the back wall tons and tons of time, just exploiting it, and then when they think they're set, they flip it and go the other way.
Right.
So I could see this being a very high-scoring game. I could also see this being a very game. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if am I going to do this again? But I wouldn't be surprised if we see the game and the little timestamp at the bottom is 31 minutes. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I like those kind of games too. It's very fun and exciting to watch an inning end in like the first over.
Yeah.
It's fun. I don't want it all the time, but once in a while it's like, oh shit, that is a dagger.
Yep.
Get you pumped up.
I think that it will be a very fun game to watch. You got a lot of characters on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to most.
A lot of fun. We love Drew. We love BBD. We love Jolly.
We love Jimmy.
We love Jimmy. We love Dan Rourke. We love Luke.
Yeah.
You know? We also love Jay. Can't say anything about Sanjay.
We know Jay. Whoa, that was awesome. Peter.
Whoa, Jay versus Sanjay?
Wow.
Do you know what San means? I think it's Latin. Oh no, it's sans. Sans.
Comic Sans?
You know what sans means? Without. So it's Jay and without Jay.
Wow.
Playing against each other. It's kind of like Jay.
It's like Bizarro
and,
Jay.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. That's kind of crazy. This is the God.
It's like the
this is gonna be 150 to 151.
Mario and Mario Sunshine.
Paint.
Oh, the worst song ever.
Don't you dare.
I hate that song. It makes me so scared.
Don't. Well, it's supposed to. He's coming. He's coming, Brendan.
He's coming.
He's behind you. He's behind you.
I hate that.
Brendan Ruppel famously got very scared of video games when he was younger.
Right? Yeah, most of them. I get scared of most things.
So did I. So did I.
Yeah.
There was one time when I got scared of Donkey Kong 64 because we were in the basement. Are you familiar with Donkey Kong 64?
I couldn't really get out of the opening area.
Okay, so no.
There
is one boss in Donkey Kong 64. I believe it was the boss of the 3rd level. It's essentially a Jack-in-the-Box, and you have to play as Tiny against it. And what happened would the camera would zoom out, and you'd have to jump from platform to platform as this Jack-in-the-Box was jumping around, and then eventually it would stop, and like the lights would flicker, and you'd have to get to a switch to attack it. So me and my brothers are playing this boss fight, and we're like, it was either me playing or Andrew playing, and Matthew and whoever wasn't playing, eyes glued to the screen. We gotta beat, because that's how you play games as a child whose youngest brother is only 3.5 years younger than you, played as a team. And right as my brother hit the switch to like shock this thing, full on power outage.
Oh no.
And we were screaming at the top of, we were like, oh my God, the thing is coming to kill us. We were children. I want to really like stress this. It's not like we were fucking 18 years old doing this.
Yeah.
We were fully children, and the lights just went out, and it was like 10 o'clock at night, and we were screaming in our basement. So
I'm trying to think
games
of
are
what I was
scary.
afraid of.
Everything.
Yeah, I think I'm not scared anymore.
No, not anymore. But when you were younger, you got freaked out very easily.
No.
Brandon.
I was pretty afraid of
I didn't say scared. I said freaked out.
I was freaked out by the third level of Sly Cooper, the original, because it was a dark swamp.
Yeah. It was very easy to freak me out when I was a child.
Yeah. My coworker dropped his wallet today, and I jumped. I was scared. I freaked the fuck out.
You freaked the freak out?
Freaked the freak out.
Victorious?
Wow.
Do you know that song from Victorious?
No, but I watched that show because I had a crush on Victoria Justice.
I mean, who did? Honestly, who didn't? Who didn't?
Who didn't?
Oh, my goodness. But, Brendan, speaking of Victoria Justice and crushes, what should people be drinking?
You should go crush some subtleties. You can
Hell
go
yeah.
find them at thesubtlety.com. Use code HobbyBoys for $2 off your order. Hobby Boys is my other podcast about beers. We review them. We laugh and love over there on that show. Go find it wherever you get your podcasts. You can also watch this very show on YouTube. Search Blitzball Boys if you're listening. And look at our gorgeous, gorgeous, well-tanned faces. Peter's got a great beard and fluffy hair.
Yeah, I went on a walk today and it was super humid, so it all puffed up.
It's a good poof. And I am shirtless and ripped. My gosh.
Oh, no Nicole this episode. Sorry.
No robes or boobs this episode. Sorry, boys. That's the way it is.
Although before we started recording, my wife was down here with a robe on. So
that's a robe.
Maybe you could catch that if you try.
Yeah, so subscribe. Just
gotta be a little faster, guys.
Up. Yeah.
Gotta be a little faster, guys.
We'll give you robe notifications if you subscribe.
We'll give you robe notifications straight to your phone, straight to your head.
Yeah.
That's it for you, right?
That's everything.
That's everything. I'm going to plug my brother, Matthew Del Rey. He's a good boy. I love him very much. Give him a hug and kiss if you see him. God knows he needs it. Play Sea of Stars. Matthew's the 8th most attractive man on Nick's Twitter. Forgot about that. They're playing a playoff
Don't forget
now,
about that.
So he's probably losing. Beyond that, Brendan, ask me the question.
Got anything else you want to talk about?
Nope.
Bye-bye.
Bye.